value, the Buick Envista delivers it all. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good. I hope you didn't put away the scraper Wednesday. How's it going, Mary?
Did you have to scrape?
I had to scrape.
You know what? I saw a couple of cars in the parking lot that looked like they had been scraped. And it got to be, well, I know it was 30 degrees when we went for our walk this morning. But I was surprised, and I suppose this is the benefit of
the lake
being next to a yet, warm body of water.
Unfrozen body of water.
Right, because we had no frost, not even nothing. I didn't have to use a defroster. I didn't have to do anything. It just was a clear wind, and I was surprised.
I recently swapped cars, and so when I was cleaning out my black Jeep, I found four scrapers. And so all of a sudden I walk out this morning, I'm like, oh, where did I put all the scrapers?
Oh, am I going to have to come up with another scraper for you?
No, I've got that.
Okay, good.
I found it.
Okay, good.
But, yeah, so I had to do a little scraping this morning, and then...
Yeah, I saw a lot of cars in the parking lot that looked like they had been scraped, and so I think it must be the warmth of the lake, don't you?
It's got to be.
Yeah. So, but I got to tell you, it was a chilly one last night.
Oh,
and this morning to go out and walk, oh my goodness. Not only was it 30 degrees, but there was a pretty brisk northwest wind. And I have started to move my stuff to town, so I had like 4 layers, a little bit of everything that was hanging in my closet. I'm like, well, okay, well, I can put that on top of that, and it actually, temperature-wise, not bad, but it was just that wind that.
I was out at the lake
really
last night because, we're dropping down to 29, 30 degrees.
Right.
And I still had my water going. So
we do too. So.
But at least you're there and using it. I mean, I've been to the lake maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, you gotta watch that.
So I went out to start blowing out the water last night, and holy cow, with all the rain and wind coming straight off the lake.
Cold, wasn't it?
Oh, it was so cold. I'm sitting here. I've got my little kind of shirt jacket that I've been wearing, and then I've got a winter coat underneath that, and then I got a stocking hat on, and so I'm sitting there working on all this stuff in the rain, and I'm thinking, I kind of look over off to my left towards the city of Battle Lake, and knowing that the Ottertail Central Bulldogs are playing football right now, about a mile and a half down the road.
I was so grateful that we had a bye last night, so we didn't have to play. That had to be a terrible night to both play and certainly to be a fan. But so for all of those of you who went out to watch the games that were played last night, good for you. You are good fans. You're good parents and grandparents. I don't know if I can give myself that. Even at the last game, I watched the last 3 quarters from the car on my heated seat.
But here's an update. Detroit Lakes at Fergus Falls, 12:45 pregame, 1 o'clock kickoff. That'll be at Otter Stadium and on Channel 977.
And is that on Saturday?
That's Saturday.
Shoot. Okay.
And then Rotsey at Hillcrest, 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock kickoff on KHA Country 96.5. And Ottertail Central at Breckenridge, 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock kickoff on Real Rock Z103. So again, a great lineup of games you can find. Obviously, we're not doing any of the video streaming because
we can't.
Yeah, due to the Minnesota State High School League rules. They want
Don't you just kind of want to shake up the Minnesota State High School League?
They need a good kick in the keister.
They do. And the part that makes, well, there's so many things that make me mad about the Minnesota State High School League, but this is one that really gets me. Come tournament time, they double the ticket price.
And all of it goes to them.
And the school doesn't get a dime.
Nope.
Now, that is just plain wrong.
They get all the admission costs.
Unbelievable.
I forgot what we do have to pay to do the video streams throughout the season to the Minnesota State High School League, and then they want like $1,000 a game for us to video stream it during the playoffs. And it's like, we barely make anything as is.
No, and And we have it on the air as kind of a common courtesy
Yeah.
to our fans and to our listeners, and now viewers, because we're just kind of covering our costs to go out there and do those
Do the
kinds
video
of
stream,
things.
yeah. I don't think we don't really make money on those.
Yeah, and we just do it because we know people are looking for that kind of thing, you
Yep.
know. So I just think that's really terrible, and I don't know why we don't hear more people complaining about it. Is there something I don't know?
No,
that-
everybody pretty much hates Minnesota State High School.
Yeah, I think so. Well, anyway, I just think that is so stinky because it's hard enough. A lot of these smaller town football fields, they're really hard to
Accommodate people.
well, and they're hard to control because people can come from both sides, and a lot of people come in without paying at all. And I just think, gosh, you know, the one time that we have the opportunity to make a little money at these games, and then they go and take the whole thing. And I don't know what it costs now. I think, you know, generally, I think our admission, at least at Hillcrest football games, is $5. But I know it will go to at least 10, maybe 12
Yeah.
for playoff. So, and then of course your passes and all that stuff don't work.
Don't work, yeah.
Right. So anyway,
We had a former sports director here, Jeff Swedberg, who always used the phrase, in the immortal wisdom of the Minnesota State High
Yeah.
School League, and then would tell us something stupid that they passed.
Yeah, boy. I tell you, not too many good decisions made there. But I just feel like that is one that, you know, the school does all the work. They have the
Yep.
fans. They bring the people in. They've got the staff there to sell the tickets, take the tickets. I just feel like, at the very least, they deserve a cut.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I can see, maybe, I guess on the flip side of that, maybe the Minnesota State High School League deserves a bit of a cut. But the lion's share goes to the school.
They should get their money from the state tournaments. I mean,
Right.
that should be their cut.
Yeah, I tell you, that has always made me angry. But anyway, so cheers to you guys who sat out at a game last night, because that couldn't have been very much fun. I was even chiding myself for having company this weekend, and I thought, you know, I'm going to get a jump on buying the groceries and that sort of thing. And so I went and got groceries. Well, of course, that means several trips from the car to the cabin. And in that wind and rain and stuff, I thought, why did I pick today to do this?
I was saying the same thing when I was draining
At
the water.
lake, I know. Okay.
I was like, I had all weekend to do this.
I know. And you know, that's kind of where we are, too. In fact, we had kind of planned to close up last weekend. And then the forecast for this weekend looked so nice. We're having company. They love to be at the lake. And so we decided, okay, one more week. And it was not, I did not decide it. I let John be yeah, because he's the guy who has to lay on the ground and do what you got to do to blow out the pipes and all that business. And so I'm not going to say one more week, and then have this terrible, awful weather. Because it's happened many times.
Oh, yeah. I was out there. I walked down to the dock, looked around the beach, and I'm like, we've got the only dock on this side of the lake still in. I mean, I've got neighbors who are year-round residents. Well, they're like 4 over, but their dock and stuff is already yanked. And I'm like, wow.
Okay, yeah. I just had one of our faithful listeners text us a little bit more on the game schedule. This is the Hillcrest game, by the way. It starts at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. That's not true.
No, that's...
It's an afternoon game.
Yeah, it's a 2 o'clock game.
Yeah, 2 o'clock game. So I'm not exactly sure where that
Is that
it does say
volleyball?
this,
We got volleyball tonight. Underwood at Hillcrest volleyball. 6:45, 7 o'clock.
Oh, maybe.
That's got to be because I know
I bet you're right. It's Hillcrest volleyball tonight. So first round playoffs. I bet that's right. And it says cash tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for students. And if you get a ticket online, the Go Fan ticket, that's $11 for adults and $6 for students. So you save $1 by paying at the door, I guess. Anyway, Hillcrest Student Activity Center, 7 o'clock tonight. Doors will open at the Activity Center at 6. So, yeah.
and
I'm
that's
so glad you said somehow, of course, I've got football on there
Yeah,
when we were
that's
just talking
volleyball
about
tonight.
it. But it is volleyball tonight, and yeah, it says, sorry, Mary, volleyball game. Okay, yeah, so volleyball tonight. So come, and I know they typically, and if this listener knows if it's a certain night, you know, like sometimes it's red out or blackout or
White out.
yeah, whatever. I'm gonna wear red Hillcrest stuff. That's just how it. I don't always play along on the color night unless I have something that works. But my guess is it's going to be red, white, or black tonight because
It's a nice gym over there in the little activity center.
oh, it's a beautiful.
They got a nice
gym.
little press box, and one
Yep.
thing that really kind of makes me go is that Fergus, the Gold Gym, doesn't have a press box.
Oh, they don't, do they? They just
No.
yeah.
But like Underwood, Hillcrest, all these other schools have nice press boxes that we're doing volleyball games from.
Okay, I'm in luck. I've got a red vest, and it's a red out night.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so everybody, if you're going to the Hillcrest volleyball game tonight, wear your red. And I've got a great Hillcrest red vest, which is also warm because it's typically pretty chilly at the Hillcrest gym. I don't know why. But all the fans know that, and so we
And if
always
you're an-
we add a layer.
And if you're an Underwood fan, don't wear red.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, tournament time is always fun, and I'm so glad to have these faithful listeners who
Yeah.
don't miss a show and fill in the blanks for us here at the station. Okay, so yesterday, and this was one of these listeners who, you remember, was it just yesterday we were talking about the crowds and paying the people to come in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Crowds.com or whatever.
Yeah, I forget what that's called. Anyway, one of these people who was just texting me on the Hillcrest stuff said that her niece, I believe out in Portland, and I can look that up, but I think I'm saying that right, has been a paid protester, she said, for years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to protest, you may as well get paid.
Well, I guess. But for some people, it's their job, for
Yep.
heaven's sakes. Okay, so then I talked to someone yesterday who said that they were tuned into the show yesterday and said, oh, yeah, I've got a relative who is, that's their job.
That's your job, protester.
So people know people who are being paid to protest. So that is not a fallacy. That is actually happening.
I love the fact they get paid enough that that's their job.
Well, yeah.
You make a living.
Wouldn't you love to know what they're getting paid? And I did
yeah.
ask that question of our listener. Any idea what this niece is getting paid? And she said she didn't know, but she would sure like to know. And clearly they don't agree politically, so it's probably something that doesn't come up at Thanksgiving or something like that. Anyway, yeah, it's amazing to me. And just the fact that there is actually a business, and I guess good for them. I mean, talk about entrepreneur.
Capitalism and work.
Yes.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. These free protesters got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
So anyway, I mean, you kind of got to hand it to them. They get creativity points for sure. And I am so tempted to go to that site and
Request a
and
quote.
get a quote to see what it would cost to bring in 5,000 people, or maybe 500 people is more manageable or more realistic for this area. But I would love to know. But do I dare do that? I don't know. I don't want these people hounding me or following me, and that's exactly what would happen. All right. Vice President J.D. Vance said yesterday that the U.S. brokered ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is going, frankly, better than I expected, to use his words. He urged patience as efforts continue to recover hostages' remains, noting some are buried under the rubble. And I do get that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be difficult to find all those bodies, which is, it's hard to even say.
Because a lot of the people that knew where the bodies were are now bodies themselves.
Right, exactly. And there's just plain a lot of buildings on top of a lot of those people, probably. The Israel Defense Forces said 2 more bodies were returned Tuesday. Despite recent violence, Vance confirmed no U.S. troops will enter Gaza. He said that yesterday. An Associated Press investigation found more than 420 bills challenging long-established public health safeguards introduced in state legislatures this year. Most target vaccines, milk safety, and water fluoridation. At least 30 measures have become law in 12 states. The efforts, linked to allies of HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., mirror anti-vaccine and anti-fluoride positions that Kennedy has supported. Let's see. Okay, so here's a guy who just is, I think, a bad actor. Christopher Moynihan, 34 of New York, was arrested Saturday and charged with making a terroristic threat. Moynihan, you might remember the name, was pardoned by President Trump for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot.
This guy's a rock star.
Oh boy. Allegedly sent text messages on October 17th threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. He thanked law enforcement for swift and decisive action. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he needs to go back to jail for a while.
Don't you think?
He didn't learn his lesson.
Wow, that's amazing to me. And okay, so a couple of things going on. Now President Trump is knocking down part of the White House.
Part of the East Wing.
Yeah, to make his ballroom. What do you think about the timing on that? I mean, I don't think it's a great idea timing wise. However, if you think this has never happened before, I have a little history lesson for you, and we'll do that right after the break. We'll tell you about the other presidents and the changes that they have physically made to the White House.
Almost every president for a long time.
A lot of them. So President Trump is not the only one. I can't believe they haven't had a ballroom all these years. I mean, that's what they do. They invite these people from, and that's what they do. They have these state dinners. And anyway, it just seems like, oh my goodness, there's so much going on. Do we have to do, what is it, $250 million construction?
But it was privately funded.
Privately funded. No one's going to pay for it except the president and his friends. So, but we'll tell you, I've got a little history lesson for you when we come back. Tell you what other presidents have done and when.
And we got somebody who was able to get a quote on those crowdsources.
Really?
So we'll find out more about that.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay. Coming up on the break for some markets, we're back with more on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
This is Craig Olson. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 for the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Football, basketball, soccer, hockey, volleyball, swimming, cross country. I interview area coaches to discuss the season, recap the last game, and preview upcoming games. Catch the live show at 8 on Saturday morning on News Talk 1250 KBRF and the live stream and archived shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming. The Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
Previously on the Under the Hood Show. When I was a kid, I had a chance to get a chemistry set.
I got
Only
the
I'd have
chemistry
known.
set, and I started experimenting with the baking soda and the vinegar thing, and how cool that was. And, of course, I had to overdo it like I do everything. And I got it on a little bigger level, and I got in a lot of trouble, and we had to buy new carpet for the living room. It was not good.
You should listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood Show with the Motor Medics right here, KBRF, 1250 a.m., every Saturday at 10 a.m.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Got a lot of people talking, saving money, having fun. Got a lot of people asking where to go, where to run. Got a lot of people clicking, saying, I bought it on. Deals, give me those deals.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Got a lot of people shopping online and on the go.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
The four letters that define winning. Fires end zone, touchdown!
The 18th time national champs play here.
The dynasty has come back!
Join us this Saturday as the Bison take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits in Brookings. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Bison football. The Pioneer Seeds Bison Sports Network from Learfield.
Good morning, market update time here in the Red River Farm Network. I'm Tyler Donaldson, checking out the grains markets for you. A lot of green on the board today, recovering some losses from, or gains rather, from yesterday's downward trades. Advanced trading market analyst Brian Basting says grains are trading higher today, mostly off of strong export demand in the corn.
We continue to see weekly liftings. We continue to get the USDA grain inspections reports released on Monday, and we continue to see strong liftings there. That's a function of the sales that were made earlier this summer. Of course, we're not getting export sales, so we don't know exactly how many sales have been made recently, but we do know that the 25-26 crop year got off to a strong start export-wise, and so we're seeing that, and harvest is beginning to wind down. Our bias is we've passed 70% now nationwide, and I think that as we move into November here, there'll be some movement as harvest winds down in terms of producers selling across the scales.
Cattle market seeing some profit taking?
Anytime you're at these historically high prices, record high prices, we're going to see volatility. I've not seen any news this morning that would trigger that other than, again, just some profit taking here. Again, looking at feeder cattle approaching $370, $375 on the board is just unprecedented levels. So it's going to be volatile at these high price levels. The fundamentals, underlying fundamentals remain strong, but you've got a lot of uncertainty moving forward in terms of the beef market. Again, very, very strong here. But I'd say, it's just more trading and profit taking again.
Reporting agriculture's business, you're listening to the Red River Farm Network.
What if the rain doesn't come? What if it comes all at once? Growers have to keep moving forward, and Simplot Grower Solutions is with you. In the Northern Plains, Simplot advisors have weathered dry spells, downpours, and everything in between. So, even if the season gives you its worst, we'll help you plant with confidence and keep making progress. Simplot Grower Solutions.
Next on our Corn Hall of Fame tour, Pioneer brand Power Core and List Corn.
Ooh, look at all the trophies.
Yes. Power Core and List beats competitors with a 7.7 bushel per acre yield advantage. 3 distinct modes of pest control action and unsurpassed herbicide flexibility mean above-ground pests and weeds can't win.
But what if they try?
They wouldn't dare. Plant the 100th season of Pioneer. Visit pioneer.com/powerup.
Listen to the Dry Bean Scene every Friday here on the Red River Farm Network. Brought to you by the North Harvest Bean Growers Association, Johnstown Bean Company, Gowan Company, SRS Commodities, and Heads Up Plant Protectants. We'll track this year's crop potential across the country and get industry perspectives on possible market impacts. It's the Dry Bean Scene every Friday, 12:35, right here on the Red River Farm Network.
With that morning cup of coffee and the Red River Farm Network on the radio, you're ready to take on the day. Farming and ranching is a bottom-line business, and we treat it that way at the Red River Farm Network. Our team of dedicated ag journalists include Don Wick, Tyler Donaldson, and Jamie Dickerman, plus ag meteorologist Drew Lerner. Farm news, markets, and weather from the #1 rated farm radio team in the region. We're the Red River Farm Network, and we're reporting agriculture's business.
December wheat Minneapolis is 3.5 higher to 548 1/4. Chicago December wheat's 3 3/4 higher at 504. KC hard red winter wheat's up 3 3/4 to 488 3/4. December corn 2.5 higher at 422 1/4. November soybeans up 2 3/4 is sitting at 1033 1/2. November canola in Winnipeg's $2.20 per metric ton lower to 613.40 Canadian. October live cattle are 80 cents or lower. It's at 242.87. October feeders are 292 lower at 370. December hogs 67 cents lower at 82.60. This is the Red River Farm Network.
When your garage door stops working, life gets inconvenient fast. From broken rollers to full garage door makeovers, Easy Open Garage Doors does it all. Make it easy and give Easy Open Garage Door a call at 770-DOOR.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me every Friday at 5 on KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. From local crime and business news to road construction and car accidents, the weekly news recap keeps you up to date on what you need to know. The KBRF Weekly News Recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorial.com. Memorials that matter.
How far would you drive for a great deal?
47.
61.
44.
I drove 89 miles.
Customers go many extra miles for their quality Toyota. Sienna, Camry, Avalon, all come standard with the quality Toyota no haggle, no hassle price guarantee. View the bottom line price online before you drive, because that's the price you'll pay. Quality Toyota. What's your number? West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls or at qualitytoyota.net. Let's go places.
Seasons are changing and Fergus Falls Deals wants to warm up your bank account.
It's almost the time for some gift giving. Save big and get your shopping done early on Fergus Falls Deals. Get certificates for jewelry, flowers, restaurants, events, home improvement, and more.
Be sure to check out the Deals on Demand category to see all the certificates you can get right on your phone.
If you like saving money and helping local businesses grow, check out all of the cool deals at FergusFallsDeals.com.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
The News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. Checking the forecast for today. Topping out around 48, mostly sunny. 29 for tonight's chilly low. 50 for Thursday, 59 Friday, 63 as we all go watch some football on Saturday afternoon. Then a windy and breezy 65 on Sunday. Right now, cloudy skies 32. Winds on the northwest at 12. It's October, so I'm refusing to say the wind chill. It's Morning Talk, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you about the presidents and what they have done over the years, but I'm so curious about hiring a crowd. I think we should just jump
lead with
right
that?
into that. Yeah.
So we're going to go into our intrepid reporter in the KBRFradio.com newsroom, Derek.
Okay.
And Derek, you were like, you know what? We got to get into this. We got to find it out.
We got it.
So what did you discover?
So I went onto the Crowds on Demand website, and I went to request a quote. I didn't get any further than that, and it had, filling out your information, and and below that, it was talking about like what your event is like, how they can help, and then it asked what your budget is.
Oh.
Now it's got listed at the highest 1 million plus.
Oh my!
Ooh, that's spendy.
The lowest range is $20,000 to $50,000.
Oh,
that's the lowest.
And they have ones that say budget is under $20,000 and have not yet assigned a budget to the project. But above that, in two different places, they say that they generally do not work with people whose budgets are under $20,000.
Unbelievable. Okay, that's higher than I thought it was going to be. I knew it would be expensive, but I thought they would cater to all size. Shenanigans.
They want the big shenanigans.
My goodness.
I mean, think of how much they have to pay people, though.
That's true.
To pay the protesters.
That's true.
And I think there's a little bit more to it. I was doing a little bit of digging into companies like this. I learned that Crowds on Demand has been around since 2012.
Okay. I had never heard of it. Had you guys?
No.
I mean, I knew there were companies who did that kind of thing.
there were people that did it, but yeah.
No. But I mean, this is at least Crowds on Demand seems to be more like a new evolution to a lot of what was typically like PR companies. I'm seeing that a lot of times there are these companies that would pay people to go to concerts and things like that. Sure. Our award shows was another one that I saw got brought up.
Yeah, you want a big crowd.
Yeah, but Crowds on Demand seems like another extension where it's like, okay, protesting and things like that. So they're looking at those big budget, big company
They do call out, I mean, they actually use the word protest, right?
Yes.
As one of their options.
Hey, ho, ho, free protesters, gotta go.
Oh my goodness, 20 grand and above. Wow. Is that higher than you guys thought it would be?
Yeah, I thought maybe they might, slam it for like 5 to 10 grand.
That's what I was thinking, that there would be, an affordable solution for, smaller communities and smaller events and that sort of thing.
No, they want, $1 million plus. So, you get the riot gear, you get the gas mask.
I would like to know what you get for 20K,
I want you to know what you get for over $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, what does that? You get
Come with your own Molotov.
I don't know.
Don Perignon Molotov cocktails.
Exactly.
Now they say they do not. It's not any rioting, but just the protesting aspect of it. So, but when you see a lot of these like large protests, sometimes they have like podiums and things set up, like that seems to come from a lot of these kinds of companies as well.
And signage and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, real professional signage.
Yeah. Anytime you see signs that you can actually read, you know that somebody else did. There was a company
or
behind
somebody's
those.
got nothing else to do.
Oh, well, yeah. Because typically at an organic protest, the signs are pretty organic.
My favorite protest story, and I think I've told this one before. Derek knows about it because we've actually went into the news coverage and actually watched the news interview. Years ago, there was a movie called Dogma that came out. It was a Kevin Smith movie. Have you heard it?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen it, but I
So
remember
everybody was out protesting that, and he realized that the local theater, that there was going to be a protest group. So he did up signs, him and his buddy did up signs, and they went to go protest the movie. Well, sure enough, the local news team shows up to cover the protest, and they're just like, let's go talk to this gentleman. And so they interview him. And they talk about, have you seen it? Oh, no. Are you going to see it? Oh, no. And just, talking to him about how bad his movie is. And it's just absolutely hilarious. And they're just like, well, that protester looked really familiar. But,
Oh, my goodness.
So he was out. He just wanted to see what it was like. And he goes, it was about, a bunch of 90-year-olds with really bad signs. And also we've got, glitter on our signs. Our signs are look professional. But every time I think about protesting, I always think about Kevin Smith protesting Dogma, his own movie.
At his own movie, right. Well, and don't you think, I think there's a lot of professional protesters, and then there's a lot of people who just like to join a protest just for the sake of protesting.
And then, we also have to say there's a lot of people that feel very strongly about some issues, and they're going out there and they're going to do their protest.
And that's their right to do that,
Yep.
I haven't gone to a single protest yet.
I've covered protests. I remember covering the George Floyd silent march, or they did it at George B. Wright Park. I can remember covering that. I haven't covered any of the No Kings. I know Derek's covered the No Kings ones in the past. But, yeah, I guess I really haven't gotten into a protest. I need to find something that I feel passionate that I need to protest that I don't need to cover from a news angle.
Yeah. Right.
Because normally, you try not to protest because you want to be objective and cover it from, both sides. And
right. All right. Well, that was really interesting. That was an eye opener. I did not.
If you've got less than 20,000, scoff.
Yeah, we probably won't even work with you. Okay, let's get back to what's happening. Is it the East Wing
the East Wing.
Okay. The White House is being demolished in order to build that ballroom that Donald Trump has been wanting for years and years. And I guess there's been other presidents and other people within the White House who have thought that would be a really good idea. I mean, they do have a lot of big wig events in that joint,
Yeah.
Anyway, so presidents have been renovating and expanding the White House for more than a century now, so this is nothing new. Back in 1902, Teddy Roosevelt built the West Wing. In 1909, William Howard Taft added the first Oval Office. In 1993, FDR expanded again, adding a second floor, moving the Oval Office, and completing the East Wing, and even building an indoor pool. In 1948, Harry Truman went big. He gutted and rebuilt the entire interior.
I was going to say, who gutted it? Because I don't remember that one happening. So,
1948, Harry Truman. And that was a gut job. He
Yeah.
completely started over. In the 1970s, Richard Nixon turned that old pool, the pool we mentioned that came from FDR, took the pool and turned it into a press briefing room, and he added a bowling alley.
Yeah, I remember the bowling alley.
Okay. In 2009, Barack Obama swapped the tennis court for a basketball court. So, oh what? Yeah, I mean, eh.
Yeah.
And now in 2025, of course, President Donald Trump is breaking ground on a grand privately funded ballroom carrying the tradition of modernizing America's most iconic home. So,
I don't have a problem with it. It's privately funded, which means not my taxpayer money.
right, exactly. And of course, he would never have dared do anything
Oh, no.
that was taxpayer money. But he's also, he wants money back for all of his legal fees from when the DOJ went after him back in what, 23?
Yeah.
So now he wants to be refunded the money that had cost him. And he said something like this, and I'm paraphrasing here, something like, well, you know what? If I win and they give me that money, I'll do something nice with it. I will, it will be philanthropic. He didn't use that word, but he would do something nice for someone.
It's going to be tremendously huge. It's going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah. All right.
People will build statues about my philanthropic things.
Yeah. You know what's really interesting is all his thing with gold. Now that the Oval Office has all these gold touches, and everything he owns and touches is a lot of gold.
Oh, yeah.
Now, whether it's gold.
I remember I was in Trump Tower back in the 90s when we did a band trip into New York, and one whole wall looked like gold, and it had a little water fountain type thing going down on it.
Yep.
And I just always remember that. I'm just like, man, that's kind of gaudy.
Right. Midtown Manhattan.
Midtown Manhattan, yeah.
Okay, speaking of Midtown Manhattan, did you see what's happening there? ICE has gone in there, and they have arrested a whole bunch of people. And very interesting, this is in Chinatown on Canal Street. And everybody's familiar with Canal Street. Okay, so Canal Street has been doing business like this
forever, out in the open.
Forever. And what's happening is a lot of times they are illegals. And a lot of times the knockoff purses and stuff they're selling has been stolen. I mean, that's just how it's been. And retailers in Manhattan have tried to close that down for years and years and years. Well, anyway, finally, ICE went in there because they knew that there were a bunch of people who were illegal, and they were known for their criminal activity, and they went in there and started arresting people. So that is happening like almost as we speak. I think the shot I saw of Canal Street this morning was pretty quiet. And Canal Street is not ever very quiet because there are street vendors there.
Everywhere.
All times of day or night. Here's one of, I've been to Canal Street a number of times because every time I go to the city and you have somebody new with you who hasn't been to New York, they always want to go to Canal Street and buy knockoff, designer purses and stuff like that. So one time I had my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law were with me, and they wanted to go down to Canal Street, and there was a guy that was selling designer knockoff purses out of the back of his truck. And all of a sudden, so my mother-in-law is looking at a purse, and all of a sudden he hears sirens. And this guy just closed up shop, got in his truck, and drove away as fast as he could because he knew he was selling illegal stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, in doing so, that purse that my mother-in-law had been looking at fell off the back of his truck onto the street. And we're like, well, grab it. It's probably stolen anyway. And she said this, it's one of my favorite lines from her. No way. I'm not going to hell for a handbag, she said. So we didn't pick up the bag. Anyway.
I would have picked up the bag.
I would too. It must have been one I didn't want or something. I don't know. But anyway, I will never forget that. She looked at me and she said, no way, I'm not going to hell for a handbag. So
I remember when I was in New York, I'm not a big watch guy. I mean, obviously I'm wearing a watch now, but I kind of liked them, but I only wear them for like special occasions, especially back then.
Like the big gold or silver ones. Yeah.
So we're in. I forgot. I think we just came from the Statue of Liberty, so we're kind of in that
so
area.
you're in Lower Manhattan, yeah.
And somebody comes up with a briefcase. Hey, you want to buy a watch? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'd love to buy a watch. I had $20. He goes, no, $100. This is real, authentic Rolex. I'm like, we both know that's not true.
Yeah.
But I'll give you $20 for the watch. 50, 20, 30. 20. I'll take the 20. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I still got that Rolex.
Okay, so that's really
Genuine
funny.
fake, but it's a $20 watch.
Oh, for sure. That is really funny. It was the very same trip, same people, and we had just gotten into the city and we were walking through Manhattan, and the very same thing happened to us, only it happened to be, of course, designer handbags again. And so right away they said, only $50. And she's like, oh, $50, what a steal. Yeah, probably was stolen. Anyway, so she's ready to hand over the $50. And, you know, for someone who's never been there before, you just think it's a good deal. And I said, oh, no. I said, and I stepped in and I said, we are not paying $50 for that. And I kind of like you, I'll give you 20. No, this is a designer bag. And we haggled and haggled. And she ended up getting the bag for $20, you know. Anyway, so, and they're like, wow, how did you do that? I said, that's what everybody does here, you know. If you buy something off the street, you haggle. That's just how it goes.
And I had to laugh because I worked at a camp. It was Camp Casey, so there was a lot of doctors around. And I had the watch with me, and I was, you know, doing some cooking, so I took the watch off and forgot about it and then left it on the microwave. And I came back down later looking for it, and they're like, what are you looking for, Dave? I'm like, I'm looking for my watch. And they're like, can you describe it? I'm like, gold Rolex. And they're like, what? We thought that was one of the doctors. And I'm like, no, it's a genuine fake Rolex. It's not real. I got it in New York. But it looks like a Rolex, and it's a solid $20 watch.
I know, it's funny. But anyway, they're cracking down because some of the people who are the illegal vendors are also illegals that have long criminal past. And so as of yesterday, they were being loaded up, and it's not very popular in Midtown Manhattan right now.
No, because everybody wants their $20 handbag.
Exactly. Well, I have to say, I mean, it's kind of, it's one of the things you do while in New York. You go to Canal Street. You just do. I mean, you kind of have to see it. All right. Let's talk about Halloween for a moment because, of course, that is coming up. Get this. Halloween has become the second most popular family celebration, next only to Christmas.
Really?
Now, I would go Christmas first, and then I would go Thanksgiving.
That's what I would guess, yeah. Then maybe 4th of July after that.
I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is such a fun, kind of laid back. I mean, you don't have the hype of the gifts and all that business. You just have all your family around. You have this great meal, and you probably, at least if you're our family, play some games afterwards. We all go for a long walk, that kind of stuff. Maybe go out, if it's nice outside, go outside and play some outdoor games.
It's never nice.
It's just, it's not very often.
Last couple of years, I've went to smoke the turkey. It was like 2 below.
Freezing? Okay. All right. Well, anyway, they say Halloween is number 2, only to Christmas. And then I heard this morning. Young people who are dating, if they, and the number was really big, I don't remember what it was, but these people who go like to dating sites, if the person who they are interested in does not like Halloween, done. X, swipe, you're done. If you don't like Halloween, I'm not going to date you.
Derek, do you like the Halloween? Because I know you're looking for white pants.
I did purchase some white pants for Halloween.
Okay.
My family's doing the Mickey Mouse and Friends group, and my wife and I are going to be Donald and Daisy Duck. So.
Oh, good for you.
But it's very difficult to find men's white pants.
Yes.
Especially at a cheap price.
Yeah, this time of year or maybe ever.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
They don't like, at least here in the Midwest, they do not like selling those anywhere.
I got a pair of white pants, but I bought them in Jamaica.
Okay.
And they're the white linen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, too bad you guys aren't similar size. You could borrow your white pants. But anyway, I mean, would you have, if you, I mean, we have to all look back because we're all married, but would you have, if you were on a dating app and somebody that you were interested in and you kind of were clicking and they didn't like Halloween, would you swipe to the next guy?
Not for Halloween.
I would.
Well,
I
you
think, I think I would.
Oh, you love Halloween.
Well, it's just a matter of like Halloween is one of those days where, you know, adults especially, like if you're in like a committed relationship, you got kids especially, you can just dress up and be silly and be childish.
Well, true. That's very true. And a lot of people love to dress up. I am not one, but
and I think if you don't have someone who on like the one holiday a year where that's like widely acceptable,
yeah, true,
doesn't want to do that, that's just I need a little more whimsy.
Okay,
in a partner.
that's a deal breaker for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Derek needs the whimsy.
Well, for Dave and I would be, what? You don't like Reese's peanut butter cups? I'm sorry. Swipe to the left or right or however you get rid of them.
That would not be a deal breaker because that means nobody's going to eat my Reese's.
True,
I'm pretty sure that was almost a deal breaker with my wife initially until she
Really?
realized the Reese's would just be for her.
Oh, well, maybe that's what pushed her over the edge for you. Because she knew they would all be for her.
Probably.
Yeah. See, that might have worked in your favor. All right. Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to all that good Halloween candy. And I thought of you guys because I got those Halloween, Reese's peanut butter cups that are in the shape of a pumpkin. And remember, people got mad because it didn't look like a pumpkin. And I got to say, it doesn't really look like a pumpkin, but I got to tell you, it's a little bit like the Easter egg. It's thick and it's full of peanut butter, and they're so good.
For the video streamers, I'm showing them the last time I actually dressed up. Jen and I dressed up for Halloween, and I was Batman, and she was a grumpy old lady.
Okay, I can see the grumpy old lady from here. Oh, yeah, I do see Batman, yeah.
Batman.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't even know when the last time I dressed up. I'm not a very good dresser up, but that is not my favorite thing. In fact, when it comes to ugly Christmas sweater time, I got an ugly Christmas night shirt, and I wear it over a pair of leggings, and I go to the party in my night shirt, and the beauty is when you come home, you just crawl in bed. See?
That would work.
Yeah. So anyway, it said ho, ho, ho on it, and it was ugly, so kind of
There you go.
worked. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up a Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. And, our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great day.